Virgo.
Hello Virgo, Happy New Year 2015. I want to give you my blessings for the new year to all my friends around the world. And we're going to be following Mars here to see what this new year is going to bring you on a month-to-month basis. And why do we use Mars? Well, Mars takes 2 years to go around the chart once. And so what it does within 2015, it's going to go halfway through your chart. So, and Mars rules your goals, your desires, your action, your physical energy, your ambitions and desires. So this is where you're going to be exerting your energy and what you're going to be getting back from the universe. And we'll be looking a little bit into the long-term transits that are sitting in specific areas. They have been for a couple of years. They still will be in the same areas for the next few years as well. And that's those 3 outer planets that are more transpersonal, so they don't influence us on a day-to-day basis. They work kind of more so in our higher consciousness and in the subconsciousness, but they are the generators of how we evolve, how we grow into the new being as we age. And it brings on new trends as well, so they're quite important. But starting off here, top of the month, January, Mars starts out here in your 6th house. So since December of 2014, you've been looking at your day-to-day routines, changing things up, rearranging or reorganizing your path. And this is good because it's setting you up for 2015, where your energy now is going to be very directed and point specific from January 13th when it moves out of this area and into that of the 7th house. You will have it there from January 13th straight through February 20th. So bring out a pen and some paper, note down these dates, and if you don't have one, you can always come back throughout the year of 2015, re-listen to this reading because it will give you those point-specific dates that are going to be quite important to you. But yes, January 13th, February 20th, Mars going through your 7th house of relationships, your significant other. For those of you in a relationship, it will mean that he or she will be now more energized in your life. Your focus will be more on them than what it has been here as of recent. Mars gets into this area once every other year. So you can come to see how this is going to be quite highlight for you. And also you will be receiving more energy from your partner where he or she will be using this Mars energy here towards you as well. So the year starts out beautifully. Whatever needs to be changed up will be changed up between the two of you. For those of you who are single, it would be a great time to meet somebody just because you're putting yourself out there with that type of energy that's going to help you radiate and sparkle and attract, though, that type of energy, or circumstance, should I say. From February 20th through April 1st, this is going to now take you to the area of life where you're going to be looking at your shared resources. That could be with your partner, your significant other. It could be with whomever you work with. It could be like brokers and so forth. In that case, it will be more so looking into royalties and commissions. But it also rules taxes and inheritances and so forth. And it's also called a house of intimacy. So when we have Mars and intimacy, well, then we can see where that energy is going to go. Expect it to really pick up a whole lot. It is the house of Scorpio. And Mars was the ancient ruler of this area. So it's pretty comfortable here. It likes to dig deep. That's what Scorpio does. It goes straight to the bottom and wants to know everything and then keep its secret close to heart, right? It's in the sign of Aries, and Aries is the initiator of, so it's a good time for you to think about what needs to be initiated. Maybe you and your partner needs to have a talk about how you can improve the balance between your spending habits and what feels fair or not between the two of you, who's paying too much, who's not paying up, that kind of thing. So February 20th to April 1st. Then we shall see that Mars will give you the support that you need now to either initiate or maybe begin a new study. The ninth house is all about higher education. So for some that might mean going back to school, taking on a class or a course. For others, it's just the higher life education, which more becomes spiritual, philosophical, reaching for higher truths. And Mars will be quite supportive here as you're seeking out those truths. It's also research that you might be doing. You might find yourself online a little bit more to seek those things that are important to you, because it kind of ties into your values. It's in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus wants to know, it wants that security. Now, this area also rules the law, so if any of you have anything going on with lawsuits, Mars right now, in this period, April 1st, May 13th, you might see some action and activity kick in to help and benefit you to move ahead and speed things up. When we talk about speeding up, I do want to mention here, as far as Mars this year, which is good news, because Mars is not going to go retrograde. He's direct all year through. This means that our collective focus is going to be up to par all along, and we can achieve a whole lot here much quicker in 2015 than we did in 2014, because not only did Mars have its retrograde phases, but everything else also went retrograde. So we experienced little frustration and delays and setbacks and whatnot, but you're going to see how your energy of what Mars represents, your goals, your ambitions, step by step, it's going to be smooth and forthgoing. So we want to be attuned to the area where he's operating so that we can harvest its energy. So the ninth house of research too is setting you up, preparing you for what's going to come in right behind it. This will be from May 13th through that of June 25th, when Mars is going to enter into the area of career. So you will be very focused to get to where you want to go. You might come to see that you can harvest too what you initiated 2 years ago here in this area. Go back and think what happened back then. It'll give you a little indicator of what you can expect here now. And I'm seeing communication is strong. Mars is in Gemini. And so for you, with communicating those things important to you in the area of career, will help you move ahead big time. So June 25th through that August 9th, Mars will then move into your 11th house. And the 11th house is all about your hopes and dreams, okay? Reaching for it, putting yourself behind it, your dreams, and reaching for the stars here. Now, also the 11th house is groups and affiliations, organizations, and friendships too. So there might be an initiation. Maybe you will join or sign up for a group. There might be new people, new friends entering your life at this time. And as we evolve, our thoughts, our outlooks change, and then new people come so we can communicate these things with, because we keep growing, and maybe some of our old friends, they're still in that realm, whereas now you can communicate with these new people. So this is how we constantly get a flow of new people into our life. So busy from going through the 9th, 10th, 11th house. So now as you enter into the 12th house here on August 9th, it's time to put your feet up, kick back, relax a little bit, do those things that you love to do when you normally don't have time to, but you desire. This is making space for you. And even when you don't think you have time, the universe might make space for you to kick back, relax. It's more of an internalized period for you, because the 12th house is Pisces. It's ruled by Neptune. It's that higher thinking, the higher consciousness that wants to trickle through those higher chakras in form of inspiration. Now, if we're too busy here mentally doing what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, we're not always listening. And in order to capture these visions, we need to be quiet. We need to still ourselves. So the universe is helping you right now to do so. What is beautiful is that Jupiter is already there, has been since last summer, and will remain there until August 12th. So Mars is going to come in and join Jupiter here, and something might just kick into action in this time frame where you will get, I feel, a big aha experience where there's this sense of epiphany of something gelling, coming together for you, where you might now take and harvest that insight and knowledge and use it for the next 2 years. Not until 2017 will you have this opportunity again. So rest up, because you are actually preparing, whether you know it or not, but you are preparing what's going to come to you from September 26th and onwards. So when we reach that date, Mars is going to then cross your ascendants into the first house, which is the house of I am. It's our inner essence. It's where we radiate and shine and bring ourselves out to the public. So they will come to see just how now Marsy and busy you are, and what it is you were thinking, you know, when you were kind of a little bit more pulled back and internalizing those ideas that you harvested. Now you might just bring it out, share it, and they will see that it was good time spent. The first house is all about our physical body too, and so you might just feel that you're a little bit more antsy, so try to utilize that in the best way possible. Now September 26th to November 13th, November 13th through the rest of the year, Mars is going to end up and finalize this cycle in your second house. Second house has to do with money and income. So it might be a time now where you're going to see you're going to be spending more. Mars likes to blow that money when it's there. But also, the best way to utilize Mars is to also think how you can improve this area. There might be new ideas coming in, especially since it's in the sign of Libra too. There's a balancing act going on. So yes, you want to spend to beautify. That's what, you know, Venus likes, all those Venetian beautiful items. But then again, it's also about balancing your accounts and also looking at how you can increase money income through the very physical acts that you can do. So that should be interesting. So there you have it. It will be to 2017 that you will have this chance again to work it up a bit. So no retrogrades of Mars. You're going to see how you're going to be flowing. You're just going to kick into action. But those retrogrades we do have is Mercury, as we always do, and we have 3 phases each year. And for 2015, it's going to start January 21st through that of February 11th for an approximate 3 or so weeks. And then again, May 18th through June 11th, and then September 17th through October 9th. This is the time where we can redo, retweak, rethink things, and retrograde Mercury is really good for that, because when we're really speeding forward, a lot of good ideas fall along the roadside, and it allows us to backtrack and pick up those jewels and now take them with us and bring them forward. The only thing we want to be careful about is not signing contracts if we don't have to, absolutely have to, or buy big, expensive appliances or vehicles, because they tend to be funky. Something technically doesn't work or mechanically doesn't work, then we have to go and redo that, right? The long-term aspects in your chart here, we got Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. We want to speak a little bit about them too, because they do have a very deeper transformative type of quality with them, which helps us evolve as human beings. Now, we'll start with Uranus. Uranus is in your 8th house, and it has to do with how things have been changing on you. And Uranus might bring us unexpected surprises. That's what we follow on a month-to-month basis when other planets touch upon Uranus, because then we can see what kind of surprises we may come to expect. But for those of you born between the beginning and say halfway through your sign, you've already undergone a lot of these changes with Uranus. For the rest of you, you still have that upcoming over the next 3.5 or so years, maybe 4 years or more. And having it in this area of the 8th house, it's death and rebirth, because it's ruled by Scorpio, the 8th house. So there's things coming to consciousness and understanding, experiences that you will encounter that will just make you look at things differently, understand things differently. Uranus is the planet of genius, okay? Flashes of instantaneous knowingness. For you here, especially in the sign of Aries where it's at, you might just look at life and death differently. But it's also the house of intimacy, so many of you will also experience and have experienced, those of you already gone through the cycle of Uranus, is looking at a type of intimacy that's deeper and more profound than you have ever been accustomed to in the past, and that really refreshes things. It's more like wanting to explore realms of intimacy in a new way. And you might be the initiator of this, because it is Aries, and Aries loves to initiate anything, right? So that said, we move on to Neptune. And Neptune we have spoken about. It's in your 7th house, and it brings out this compassionate side of your nature, this more forgiving end of your nature, and the unconditional type of love, spiritual love, cosmic love. So you might just find that your sense of romantic understanding and experience is deepening in this through the network of spiritual connections, soulmates, past life loves, and so forth. You might find yourself, if you're in a new relationship, that you're giving or flexing more at this time than you would have done ever in the past, just for anybody. But it might be who you're attracting into your life that is triggering this. And that would be probably because it is a soulmate. And we are more forgiving and more flexible with those past life loves than just in anybody here on this earth plane. So if you're wondering why you're putting up with certain things, it is because it is that attachment from one lifetime to another that just creates this invisible network of, oh my God, you know, and then here you are, you're widening. Think about it, the universe has no limitations. You're just flowing. Neptune rules the ocean. There is no limits to the ocean. And this is you now in your consciousness as far as the way you take in relationships, right? So it's beautiful. And it has this otherworldly sense or touch to it because it is Pisces, and they are always very idealistic. And this is what you're embodying now within your own consciousness as a Virgo. So Pluto we have mentioned, we've talked about it, and we will talk about it a lot over these next few years as it's cruising through 5th house of children. So this is the area where you're going to see a lot of this taking place. Your children may be undergoing very deep transformations, and your relationship to them in that sense. And it's also love in relationships. Not like the 7th house for long-term commitments and marriages, but it's more the playfulness of your relationships and the passion of it. Pluto is the most passionate of all planets because it goes so deep, it feels so deep. It has the ability to transform us, who we are, from where we used to be at some point to this new being. And for you, it will come through interrelating with relationships. So having that said, you want to listen to your partner's chart for New Year to see where his or her Mars is and where it's going to be focused throughout you know, these coming months and which areas it's going to be focused, so that you can see how it's going to correlate with you. And as we always do in all our month-to-month readings, you want to listen to your moon and rising sign, even for your New Year's forecast here, because even that shall give you a whole lot more insight. So listen, I wish you the very, very best and beautiful blessings for 2015, and I will see you again soon. Bye now.